going, everyone? Trump's creating a second class of citizenship. We'll get to that in a minute. We got this nut here trying to eat all the snow. Ain't you whiskey? Anyways, you know, over here on my end, they're doing everything to force me into submission, into giving up. And that means accepting a life in a way that I cannot. And I don't know what to say about it, but it don't matter what you do. I talked to another lawyer. He actually took a little bit of time to listen to some of the stuff, but you know, cut me off on some of it because, right, they don't want to hear the complete story. Well, because I don't got the money to pay them, for one, and I've made that clear up front. And I'm not, you know, lawyers are in business to make money, I get that. But I get told, well, you know, because of the complexities of your case, and some of this is probably past the statute of limitations, which is nonsense. Modern Retro Radio, thanks for joining us. Good to see you. So I get told, you know, a lot of the lawyers just blow it off. This one tells me, well, because of the complexities of your case and some of it's past statute limitations. Oh yeah, thank you very much, right? They get statute limitations. But the key word there is complexities of my case. It's so complex because this whole system works together. You know, we already got a serious problem in this country where we don't want to see it. It's worse than just corrupt cops. It's worse than cops getting away with doing bad stuff. What's empowering them? It's also the prosecutors and the courts and the lawyers. You know, depending on your case, you might get lucky, get a lawyer to take it. If a lawyer finds out he's up against the whole damn system, he's not going to fight in your favor, as I have found, right? Because what I got going on here in Ohio, it goes to appeal. You know, it went to appeal twice, and then their excuse, they come back and say, well, we can't judge on this because appeals court only judges on the record of what's on the record, and nothing's on the record. I had people argue with me, tell me I filed my stuff wrong, you know, so I done a second appeal and double checked all the stuff I studied, double checked everything, made sure I was turning everything in. I was proving incompetence of my lawyer. The paperwork I submitted proved he hid stuff against me. Oh, that's not on the record. Why do you suppose that's not on the record, right? How does that not prove something? But they washed their hands with it. And then on the second appeal, they totally ignore my whole complaint about due process. Why would the appeals court, you know, I get what some people could be thinking, so why would they, why would all these officials be so corrupt? You know, that's a large claim I'm making there. Well, when you break it down to it, here in Ohio, and this is why it's going to be hard to get any lawyer to actually, because he'll be blackballed and he'll never do business in Ohio again, I guarantee it. Because if you break down what, I didn't do it on purpose, I made my claims to defend myself, right? And in that claim, I mentioned that they violated my due process rights, something we must never take for granted. It's one of the most important rights you have is due process. Before they have a right to interfere in your life, they got to follow due process and prove they had a right and a reason to mess with you. Government is a system of criminals protecting other criminals. 100%. I 100% agree with that. And I'm finding that out every step of the way in my own situation. And that's all it is, a whole bunch of criminals protecting each other. And that's what I come to the conclusion on my, when I get told by a lawyer that fights this stuff, it's hard to prove that your employer was complicit in all of this and acted in cahoots with the local officials. Yeah, I understand that's kind of hard to prove, but everything I'm looking at shows more evidence of that. Slow down. Everything from my case shows more evidence of that than any evidence they had against me, right? But that's not how it works with the law. The law is allowed to lie to you. You are not allowed to lie to them. It's illegal if you get caught lying to them. They can bold-faced lie to you and admit that they lied and never be held accountable. It's a bunch of nonsense. And this is what we got going on. That already creates a second-class citizenship. And that's what I'm getting to here. Trump is doubling down on that. So as I'm saying in my case, if I had a lawyer with enough balls to stand up and fight it for what it is, they violated my due process rights, and in doing so, they took all of my property away. All of my property, right? They didn't have a right to do that. Now the thing is, if I go ahead and prove that, this is why the appeals court wants to ignore it and just use this lame ass excuse about, well, nothing's on the record. Well, that alone should be a raise for concern. That the judge in this local kangaroo court was allowed to make sure nothing was on the record. Well, then why aren't they questioning how that judge was able to find me guilty if nothing was on the record, right? If there's no record to prove what I'm saying, then there's no record to prove I was guilty of anything. But that's how they do it. Now let's consider this thing with Trump. We have, if anyone's caught his latest announcement, whatever, was on the other day on the news, on the, his address, right, the other night, I should say. He come out, there's several things about it, but he come out, there's plenty of reasons to not trust Trump. But I was gonna do a regular video about it. Maybe I'll turn this into a regular one later and I'll put some clips in there. But he come out and said he's calling for total immunity for police, for law enforcement, and for automatic death penalty for anyone who unalives an officer. No, I have a problem with that, right? You're creating a second-class citizenship because that's not the rules if something happens to one of us, right? If they harm one of us or even another person harms one of us, there's no automatic death penalty. Trump's State of the Union was fraught with lies by omission. Yeah, 100%, and there's a lot of people that don't want to see it. We got to break away from this choosing party lines and start understanding that we're all in this together and they are acting against all of us, right? Those of us nobodies, I should say, right? As he's all about making America great again for the super rich, right? For the super rich that are controlling his cabinet, such as Elon Musk, I can't think of the other dude's name from Palantir. Look these guys up. Man, I can't think of the other guy's name right off, right? But look up Palantir for anyone that's unaware. But, so in one breath, Trump tells us, tries to get us to, everybody feel bad for me because this is what they did. They weaponized law enforcement against me. Right? Oh, well, let's feel bad for Trump because they supposedly weaponized law enforcement against him. What did they do when they weaponized law enforcement against him? Well, they went after him the way they go after each and every one of us every day. Right? Happens to all of us all the time. And none of us can say, oh, you weaponized the law against me. Trump gets to say it because he's filthy rich. Because the rich stand for the rich. And I can't say that loud enough. And, so Trump, in one breath tells us how bad the law enforcement was weaponized against him, and then turns around and tells us he's calling for automatic, for total immunity for police and automatic death penalty for anyone who unalives an officer. That's wrong. I don't give a shit. That's just plain wrong. First of all, they sign up for the job that they put themselves at risk. If you can't handle that, then don't take the job, just like our troops and everything else, right? But you work for us, whether you be the president, whether you be the governor, whether you be a mayor or a cop. You work for us, we the people, right? But you get to violate us, beat us, and do all this nonsense to cause problems in our lives, weaponized against us. And but Trump wants us to feel bad because they were weaponized against him. This is the shit they do to us every day. And the police already have complete immunity mostly. I mean, it's not worded that way, but try to go up against them and see. They are there to protect the government. The police are not there for us. It used to be a service for us, right? It's no longer that way. Now it is, they are the enforcement arm of the government. And what the government says, you will do. And if you don't, the police will show up, right? All the things that they did to Trump, that he says is weaponized against him, is what they do to us every day. And now he wants total immunity for them. And not just total immunity, but you unalive one of them and it's automatic death penalty. What about us, right? This ain't right. This is creating a second class of citizenship, which, according to the Constitution, is wrong. According to the Supreme Court, is wrong. It's just nonsense. We cannot have that. That's dangerous, and we need people to stand up against that. We got here in Ohio, I'll do a video about it later on, but we got here in Ohio, we have there's a fight to it's coming along. There's petitions going out to remove immunity for police, remove qualified immunity. We'll see. Ohio's already retaliating against people for that, but at the end of the day, what good's that going to do when you got the president trying to make it on a federal level complete immunity? This is not right. It's just not right. I don't care what side you're on. We cannot have police being named as there's some kind of superior citizenship. And, don't tell me that it's automatic death penalty if one of them are unalived until you say it's automatic death penalty if any of us is unalived, right? Don't tell me I should feel bad that they weaponized the law against you when they do the exact same thing to all of us every day. But there's people that don't see that, right? There's people that are so hardcore Trump, they feel bad. Oh, well, they tried to go after him about taxes. Let's be clear about something. Trump owes more taxes than any of us, right? Any of us common folk, it's illegal to tax us for the money we earn by working. That we put labor in for. If we work for somebody else, technically, that money is not supposed to be taxed. But the super rich who make money hand over fist get all these tax breaks for money that they just gained by sitting around and having somebody else do the work. Okay, we should understand the problem with that. But, we're not going to get nowhere because the rich are standing together. And then when I say rich, I mean super rich. It's not like I think every rich person is bad. I need to be clear on what I'm saying. But the super rich who are in control of everything, they're all sticking together. And this announcement he made, it's, like Modern Retro Radio says, the whole thing was riddled with lies and all that, and that's 100% true. This is only one thing I was jumping on. He also he says stuff and repeats it over and over, just like the other side. This is what they do. Repeat everything over and over so it sticks in our minds and we start believing it. We get brainwashed into it, right? And I know just because people support Trump or support Biden, whatever, don't mean I'm not against nobody, okay? I'm just trying to get us all to understand that we're down here while they're up there acting against us. There's no hope for any of us down here. They will see to it, and they will cover for each other and cover up blatant acts against the Constitution. They want to say, oh, we're here to save. He's for rule of law, and we're here to save the Constitution, right? This is what they tell us. Like the Constitution's under attack, but they don't mention the Constitution any other time, only when it sounds good, right? They want to tell us, oh, this is a grave problem against the Constitution, against our constitutional republic. The only time you hear them say that is when they can use it in their favor, because most of us know the Constitution's non-existent anymore, really, right? But if you bring up the Constitution to them, then there's no hope, okay? They don't know what you're talking about, and they try to make you sound stupid when it's written in plain English, okay? They work for us. We are the boss, and what are they doing? We cannot forgive him for trying to get complete police immunity. It's 100% wrong. I don't know where else to go with that. Sometimes I have the thoughts in my head, and then when we start going and I start recording, then some of those thoughts leave me. But yeah, we cannot have, really, I don't care if you got family that are police, if you're a police yourself, that you have to agree, if you give a shit about this nation, you have to agree that you don't get no special priority over us, no special rights. And you know what? If you want to say it's automatic death penalty for taking out an officer, then you damn sure better say it's automatic death penalty for taking out any one of us. But we're not seeing that. Oh shit, there's a cat. See if we can get it. Better get across that road. Nope, he's gonna stop and look at us. Watch out, Whiskey. Could be an officer's cat. Automatic penalty. Let's consider this. If my dog here in Ohio, I don't know how the rules are wherever all you guys live at, but here in Ohio, if my dog bites somebody, even if he had the right to, if he was provoked, it don't matter. If he bites somebody, draws blood, automatically they're gonna come and put the dog down. I've seen it happen, and that's the rules around here, right? Shouldn't it be the same with a cop? If you draw blood, if you take a life, we're sorry, then it's automatic put down, right? No, that's not the way. But if it's the other way around, you could be doing something very minor, and maybe you ran a stop sign, maybe you was driving a little bit fast, you get pulled over. When you show any resistance to that cop, they bring out the full force, and they will take you down. That's 100% true. They will take you down. They don't care. They don't care how minor or petty the issue was. They will come out and gang up on you. It happens all the time. And we look the other way. And now we got a president telling us, I hear people on the left from the Democrats and stuff say, but they do this with every president, really, one side or the other. Compares it to Hitler, compares it to Stalin, shit like that. No, the truth is, and then the other side gets upset. Oh, how can you say that this is America? This ain't America no more. And the truth is, this announcement about full police immunity and automatic death penalty, that announcement is very much Nazism, communism, whatever you want to call it. I don't give a shit what you call it. It's un-American. And we've forgotten what it means to be America anymore. And there's no one at the top fighting for us. Trump made that clear, that, like I said, in one breath, he's telling us, oh, like we should all feel sorry for him. They weaponized the law against him. But he don't open his eyes and see that it's happening to all of us. You know, uh, it's just nonsense. We can't be for that. There's nothing that good will come from that. And now they got me in the spot where pretty much they're telling me you're fucked. Take it up the rear and deal with it, right? And I have a problem with that. You're telling me all my tax. Not sorry if the wind is messing shit up. It wasn't windy a few minutes ago. Never a day without wind anymore. But anyways, we just all the shit we deal with. It ain't, they're telling me. So I have now people are telling me, I got people on my case all the time, even though nobody's supporting my ass, so I don't know why they think they should have an opinion. But you just think it's the way of life, right? Why aren't you, they'll tell me, go check out this job, go check out that job. So I go and check one out the other day, and I got the application filled out, and I'm just debating on myself whether I want to turn it in or not, because they're telling me to get back to it and start paying taxes to support this corrupt system. This system that my tax dollars went to pay them to ruin my life. And now they got it set up. Since then, all of the two of the courts here in Defiance ruled against me, where everyone can come and garnish my wages as soon as I start making money. And so they're telling me that I'm gonna go bust my ass for all my money to go to taxes and garnishments. Well, I don't see, because the thing is, I go talk to this guy about this job, and I'm not cutting the guy down or whatever. It is what it is, right? But he won't tell me what the pay is, and won't tell me what the pay range is. Instead, he tells me, well, if you got this experience, the more experience you can show doing this is, hold on a minute. They're just taking something up there. But anyway, so he tells me the more experience you can show doing this particular kind of work, then the more we can pay you. But won't tell me what that pay range is. So I already know what that means. I've been, like as if I'm some kid, a teenager that's going into the workforce for the first time. I've been down through all that, and I'm old enough to, whatever, screw that. I don't, people don't understand where I'm coming from with that. Maybe some people do, but most people around here don't. And, it's not like I check into worthy jobs, and most of them I can't get because I don't got my tools, and they still refuse to give this shit back to me. And I'm being told there's nothing I can do about it, right? It's just ridiculous. But meanwhile, you go check into this job that's going to pay you minimum wage. When they don't want to tell you what the pay is or the pay range, okay? So, so I'm like, do I want to continue on with this? Do I want to go turn in an application and have another meeting with this guy? Or do I just want to say fuck it? Because I know what's going to happen. So why should I bother? Just so I can work my ass off to pay up all this shit and eventually be able to make barely, I'm not going to make enough to get me out of the situation I'm in. And I do some shit on the side here and there that, I don't talk about because that's paid in cash. It's not like I'm afraid to work, nothing like that. But for me to enter into their system under their rules, right? They got my hands tied trying to make sure there's only a select types of jobs I can do without being able to do what I know to do. And I'm just at the age now where they always say, if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. Well, right? It's a job unless it's something you enjoy doing. And anyways, I'm just updating on that. So I did go to that interview with the guy, got the application. It's sitting all filled out, but it's a matter of do I want to turn it in, because he don't want to be clear on me what kind of money I can make. Oh, well, we got good benefits. I don't care about your benefits. I care about making enough money to get out of this situation. You see a dog over there? Come on. And if I can't get out of this situation, whatever, I'll wait till it gets warm enough and get the hell out of here somewhere else, because they got my hands tied here. And then they laugh in your face when you try to do something about it. And the thing is, our citizens here in Defiance County, it's a joke. Like, I have on one video where they violated me at the polling station, right? Trying to get people to sign this petition to get rid of the sheriff. I can't tell you how many people tell me, oh yeah, it's corrupt. They agree. It's so corrupt, but they don't want to sign the petition. Oh, no, I don't want to get involved with that. They'll retaliate, all this and that. Nobody wants to do nothing to get his ass out of there, but that we'll all complain about it all day. And that's where my issue is, because I am doing shit about it. The best I can anyways, right? And if anyone's got any other tips, I follow every tip, that people's giving me lawyers' names I've talked to, or go file a complaint here, file a complaint there, and I do it, and they just all want to look the other way. And the truth is, because if they proved in my case, if they would acknowledge that my due process was violated, it's not just me, right? It means Ohio is doing that to people every single day, violating their due process, taking away their rights in ways they don't have a right to do. And it would open a big can of worms for Ohio, period. But we can't get nowhere with that. There's our courthouse over there. Got a fire truck. Not doing nothing, just driving. But, you know, that's the sum of it, right? And there's a lot of people. The thing is, I try to get all these people together because I realize that they're claiming this whole statute limitations. I don't know how they can do that. All my complaints were turned in time. Anyways, all my complaints were turned in time, properly, into the proper places. But they still get to claim statute limitations because they chose to ignore it all this time. I don't know how they get to claim that when my shit was turned in time. And that's what this last lawyer I just talked to. Well, you know, I'd like to help you, but, you know, you're talking about a big cost because of the complexity of your case and likeliness that a lot of it's past statute limitations. Let me try to claim statute limitations on them, right? Let me try to claim it's too complex for them. It don't happen. And I'm not saying just me, it's any of us, right? We are the second class of citizens. This announcement by Trump is making sure that the people at the top are the first class of citizens with all the rights, the rule makers, the people you have to obey, and the rest of us who work our ass off to pay their salaries, we're the second class, and we don't have rights, and we don't have anywhere to go for answers or to get resolved. They do, we do not. And that alone right there will keep me from supporting Trump. That alone right there will make me back any efforts to get him out of office. That's where I stand on that. I don't care how good he says he's gonna make things. Our economy doing good does not matter if the rest of us don't have no rights. None of it matters. And fixing the immigration issue, that doesn't matter if the rest of us don't have no rights. You can bring the prices down, and those low prices don't matter if we don't have rights and we don't have representation, right? We don't, I mean, taxation without representation, and that's what's going on for every one of us, you and me. Not for them, not for Trump, not for Biden, not for any of them, right? At the end of the day, they're all on the same team. Every one of them, including Trump. Trump says a lot of things that sounds good, But if you look at his actions, it's wrong. We can pick that up just from seeing how it went, from the lies he was spewing during his address. And I believe a lot of that was staged as well. He had all the people over on the one side raising havoc to get whatever his name is, be pounding on the gavel. Oh, we're here to restore order. We'll have you thrown out of here, all this and that. They did that because it's good for ratings, right? More people are watching because they want to see what's going to be done about it. It's all about the ratings. At the end of the day, all them people are eating steak together while the rest of us are eating bologna sandwiches and being told that, well, you better comply with the police or else you're going to prison or the death penalty, right? Suck it. Anyways, I suppose that's all I really got to say. JP, all politicians are not for us. Yep, 100% agree. Thanks for joining us too. Sorry if I'm missing any comments. I do it this way, I can see them a little bit better, but they disappear real quick. So if I'm not looking right at the screen, I might miss them. But yep, you're right. All politicians, they're not for us, they're for each other. They sit there and make a career out of it and pretend they're fighting. It's like a staged WWE event, right? Or WWE, it used to be called WWF. I think it's WWE now. Wrestling, right? Staged wrestling, which is where Trump comes from. And he's appointed Miss McMahon to the Department of Education. And I don't care about none of that shit, really. Department of Education. A lot of the shit that they're making sound like is the important issues are not the important issues. At the end of the day, the most important issue is accountability against cops, right? And because, yep, you're 100% right, JP, that all politicians, yep, against us. It's them against us, and we need to come together and see it. There's too much fighting out there, and you see it in a lot of maybe people's lives or on Facebook, stuff like that. There's too much accountability going on, too much infighting going on between us because they're up at the top pretending they're fighting each other. And the truth is, they're just bringing all of us against each other. I'm gonna have to cut this off. My battery's about to die. I was pretty close to being done anyways. Thank you all for joining us. I appreciate it very much. I'll hopefully make a regular video about this that's a little more well thought out and in detail, and then share some clips with it too. But appreciate you very much. JP, right on. Take care. Yep, you too. Thank you. We'll catch you all later on. Appreciate you joining in. Appreciate your time. And have a great day. Right on. Catch you later, Modern Retro Radio. Thank you very much for tuning in. All right, everyone. Have a great day. Hopefully you have a great day. We'll see you later.